Hey, good afternoon. This is Kevin Gilmore from the National Weather Service New Orleans Baton Rouge office located in Slidell, Louisiana. This is your weekly weather briefing for Thursday, May 8th. Starting things off here with some key messages where we'll be discussing and pretty much highlighting all the weather we can expect here the next 5 to 7 days, starting with this evening or this afternoon and evening. Really not too bad of a day out there. We've had a lot of dry air work into the area from the north. Has introduced a lot of sunshine for locations. However, we'll have to watch for maybe the potential for some isolated thunderstorm development across coastal southeast Louisiana and coastal Mississippi later this afternoon. But after that, we should have a little bit of a lull in the activity going into tonight. Then our focus is going to attention towards the southwest at more widespread showers and storms. Yes, they're going to be back and they're going to be returning here Friday morning, continuing through the afternoon and evening, off and on showers pretty much all day throughout the day tomorrow. And these scattered and numerous shower and storm chances persist each day going in through the weekend and into Monday. And any time during this period, Friday through Monday, we may have a couple strong locally severe storms and maybe even some localized flooding in some locations. Then towards the end, we're going to talk about the river forecast, where we've had some rivers that are a little bit higher than normal lately due to the recent heavy rain. And then talk about maybe we'll have some drying out Tuesday and the Wednesday into the later parts of next week. So 7-day threat outlook, we're again what I just mentioned before, some strong to a few severe thunderstorms possible today, but also Friday through Sunday. Now we're not formally outlooked under any type of convective outlook Friday through Sunday yet, but that might change. We may be introduced under marginal risk or a threat level 1 out of 5. We just have to kind of keep an eye on that. Also, some heavy rain could be possible that could lead to some localized flash flooding Friday into Saturday. And otherwise, other between those two weather hazards, not expecting anything else, not even any type of fog or any type of dense fog concerns all the way through early next week. A little bit extra detail about what we're talking about with later this evening. That's the threat area you see there highlighted in that dark green. That's a marginal risk threat level 1 out of 5, where we could have a couple locally strong storms later this evening, but should be widely scattered, really not too much of a significant impact, but we'll monitor it, as you should too. And then most of this activity will dissipate towards sunset with a little bit of a lull getting into later tonight. It's going to be during the day on Friday, primarily Friday morning, when we'll start to see more scattered showers and storms increasing from the southwest, spreading across the entire area. So during your morning commute on Friday, you may be having to deal with some wet roads and some showers and maybe a few thunderstorms around. And that's going to be off and on pretty much all day. What you see here on the left is the probability of greater than 1 inch of rainfall throughout the entire day on Friday through Friday night. And we're seeing that the higher chance of rain totals are more than likely going to be across, or at least south of I-10-12 or east of I-59. That includes coastal areas of southeast Louisiana and Mississippi, where we could see some locally heavy rainfall that could result in some localized flooding. And then the active weather pattern will persist. What we got going on on the weather maps for the next several days is going to be a surface low is expected to develop in the northern Gulf. No, this will not be a tropical low, but it will be responsible for bringing an increase in heavy rain and thunderstorm activity to pretty much all the southeast U.S. for the next several days. Associated with that surface low in the upper levels of the atmosphere is going to be what's called an upper level low. That's that small L you see there. That upper level low has a tendency to bring with it a lot colder temperatures in the upper atmosphere. And what that does is can lead to thunderstorms to produce hail. So the upper level low will be meandering across the area Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then possibly bringing with it the chance for strong and maybe a few isolated severe thunderstorms across the area like I was just talking about before. And these will be mostly scattered, some numerous at times, but primarily during the afternoon and evening hours we'll see this each day. So just be weather aware. Again, we're not formally outlooked at this time, but we still may have some strong, maybe some locally severe storms. And underneath this low as well, we don't really see storm motion or storms that really move fast. So some of this could be dumping a lot of locally heavy rainfall that could lead to that localized flooding. But with that surface low, as it drifts up towards Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia getting to early next week, it'll be taking the heavy rain threat along with it into Florida, up the East Coast, up through the Mid-Atlantic, into the Carolinas, leaving us a little bit of a drier trend, maybe on the back side of it, as drier air likes to wrap around the back side of these systems. We'll see dry air pulling in from Texas into the area Tuesday into middle parts of next week, which is some good news there. If you're not a fan of the heavy rain, at least we'll be trying to dry out middle to later parts of next week. And forecast rainfall totals. This is average rainfall total potential for the entire area, really just highlighting that the better chance for heavier rain totals are going to be primarily across the coastal areas, southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi. Less in the way of rainfall totals or higher rainfall totals for western areas. but be aware that there could be a lot higher totals you see here, locally higher totals in some locations, just depending on where those storms develop and dump torrential amounts of rainfall. So be weather aware if you're traveling through the weekend. We may be having some flooded roadways across some areas, just depending on where these storms develop. And the river forecast, there's a lot of rivers currently in flood stage. It's either forecast to go more into flood stage or possibly even coming out for the next few days. Be sure to visit water.noaa.gov for the latest river stage and forecast for the rivers near your area. Be aware that too, depending on where some of the heavier rain falls the next couple of days, there could be some changes to some of these forecasts. So if this is any interest to you, if you live near a river and you need to know these levels, be sure to check back at water.noaa.gov as frequently as you can to make sure that you got the latest forecast. And looking ahead to, as mentioned before, with those rain chances really diminishing as you get Monday, especially into Tuesday as the system departs and gets out of the area. We'll dry out and we'll get a lot more sunshine back in the area middle to later parts of next week, but that means the heat is going to return. So we're going to be back into the mid to even upper 80s for some locations, especially Wednesday and Thursday, possibly even hitting the 90s late next week. So with that, maybe back to the introduction of early parts of summer for some locations. And this dry air could persist all the way into later parts of next week, even into next weekend as well. Not really seeing any type of additional hazardous weather on the horizon all the way through next Saturday and Sunday. So here's a summary of everything that I just discussed here. Again, mainly dry today. We'll watch for a few couple thunderstorms possibly developing, but we'll see more widespread showers and storms on Friday through the afternoon and evening hours, and then hit or miss scattered showers and possibly even numerous storms each day all the way through Monday. We'll have to watch for some large hail in some of these storms, possibly even damaging winds and localized flash flooding. And then, as discussed before, many rivers remain elevated due to recent days. We've seen these heavy rain threats, and this could change, especially depending on where future storms dump that heavy rainfall. Just be sure to check water.weather.gov. And drying out Tuesday through Wednesday, then the heat returns, like I was just showing you, middle to later parts of next week. And I hope that you have a great rest of your week. We're going to end the briefing there and have a fantastic and safe weekend.